The topic today is the urinary system, the urinary system of human beings. The urinary system of man, it is also known as the excretory system. Urinary system and excretory system are the synonyms. It consists of four organs. The organs involved are the pair of kidneys, the pair of ureters, urinary bladder, and a urethra. The pair of kidneys have role in the urine formation, and the ureters are the structures which take the urine from the kidneys into the urinary bladder. Urinary bladder stores the urine until there is a reflex and the message is sent to the brain and there is the urge for the urination. And the urethra is the structure which removes the urine from the bladder outside the body. These are the four organs which are involved in the urinary system, which are involved in the excretion of urine. Kidneys are the main structures. The main organ involved are the kidneys. We will have to study about the location of the kidneys. As you can see in the diagram given in blue, that kidneys are located in the second or middle part of the trunk. For example, if we divide the trunk into three parts, upper, middle and lower, the kidneys are located in the middle of the trunk, which is known as flank, F-L-A-N-K, flank. And in location, we can say the kidneys are located at the back of the abdominal wall at each side of the vertebral column. They are present on the each side of the spine, one on the right side of the spine, other on the left side of the spine. The kidneys are present below the diaphragm. Only the last two ribs are covering the kidneys. These are present below the diaphragm. Diaphragm is the muscular sheath in the thorax. This is all about the location of the kidneys. We will study about the appearance of the kidneys. In appearance, it includes the size of the kidneys. The kidneys are equal to the size of the closed fist of an individual. This is the rough estimation, and roughly the kidneys are in an adult 10 cm long, 5 cm wide and 3 cm thick. These are the rough estimations, and there are individual differences. And about the shape of the kidneys are bean shaped. The inner side is concave, inner concave surface, and the outer convex surface. This is all about the shape of the kidneys. The color of the kidneys. Apart from any disease, in a normal human being, the kidneys are reddish brown in shape, reddish brown in color. These are the kidneys. You can see the inner concave surface and the outer convex surface. To the inner surface, the renal artery and the renal veins, that is blood vessels, leave or enter the kidneys. This is the side from where the renal arteries and veins enter and leave the kidneys, and renal nerves enter and leave the kidneys. Now come to the structure of the kidneys. In structure, there are two types of structure. Number one is the macroscopic structure, which we can see with our naked eyes. That is known as the gross structure. And then we will study about the microscopic structure. First of all, come towards the gross structure, which we can see when we dissect a human or when we dissect a dead body. The kidneys, which we can see on our dissection table, looks like that. When we cut a cross section, will be discriminate outer cortex, which is darker in color. No doubt they both are reddish brown in shade, but the outer we can discriminate easily that it is cortex, that is known as renal cortex, and the inner region is known as renal medulla. Inner to the medulla is a region which is known as pelvis, so it is called renal pelvis. Renal pelvis is the side from where the ureter leaves the kidneys, and it is the side from where the renal arteries, veins and capillaries and nerves enter and leave the kidneys. So these are the three main portions of the kidneys: cortex, medulla and pelvis. In the medulla, there are pyramid shaped, triangular shaped structures which are known as renal pyramids. Again, you can see the gross structure of the kidneys. Labeling is mentioned. Renal cortex is the outer region, renal medulla is the inner one, and then the renal pelvis. The urine which is formed is collected in the renal pelvis, and from there through the ureters it leaves the kidneys and enters the urinary bladder. Now come towards the microscopic structure. Like our body, human body is made up of trillions of cells. Similarly, the kidneys are made up of small units which are called the basic units of kidney. Each pair of kidney consists of millions of these units. These are called nephrons. So nephrons are the structural and functional unit of kidneys. Let's discuss the structure of the nephrons. Nephrons consist of basically three main parts. One is the glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. The other is the tubular system, and at last there is a collecting duct. The first part consists of glomerulus. In glomerulus, the blood comes through the afferent arterioles that start with A. Then blood passes through the glomerulus and leaves through efferent arteriole. And after filtration, the filtrate comes into the Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule is a cup-shaped structure. After Bowman capsule, there lies a structure which is known as proximal convoluted tubule. And proximal convoluted tubule, after that there is a U-shaped structure, U-shaped tubule, which is called loop of Henle, which has ascending limb and descending limb. Then comes the distal convoluted tubule, and at last there comes the collecting duct, where now the filtrate is known as the urine. The structure of nephron, the whole nephron is covered with a rich supply of capillaries. These capillaries are known as peritubular capillaries. And the vessel which is surrounding the loop of Henle in the juxtaglomerular nephrons is known as vasa recta. This is again the clear diagram of the label diagram of nephron. You can see the afferent arteriole, efferent arteriole, glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle. You can see the ascending limb and descending limb, distal convoluted tubule, and collecting duct. And there are network of capillaries, that is, it is richly supplied with the blood, richly supplied with the capillaries. These capillaries are for the reabsorption of the water, minerals, sodium chloride, calcium, amino acids from these tubules, which are filtered out from the glomerulus. These are called peritubular capillaries. Now comes to the function of the kidney. The function of kidney is the urine formation, that is to cleanse the blood. Kidneys clean our blood by formation of urine. So this step, there are three steps in the urine formation. Number one is known as filtration. Number two is known as reabsorption, and the third step is secretion. Glomerular filtration, which is the first step, it takes place here in the glomerulus due to two reasons. Number one is that there is a high pressure there in glomerulus, and the second reason is that there is a permeability. The walls of the glomerulus, the capillaries in the glomerulus are only single cent thick and are permeable. So the amino acids, glucose, water, sodium chloride, calcium, potassium, they all filtered out due to these two reasons.